Hey, this is Matt once again. We're about to another video, and this is a paid request for Toby. Thank you so much for that, and thank you for your generosity. I really appreciate it. Again, I'm sorry that these requests are taking so long. I'm trying to get to them as soon as I can. But for those out there, I hope you're doing well. If anyone wants to request any type of videos, topics, reactions, commentaries, reviews, re-reviews, thoughts, streams, video game playthroughs, tier lists, ranking, whatever the case, feel free. PayPal's usually the best bet. CashApp as well. Links are down below in the info box. I'll get to as soon as I can. For those who sent them, thank you. I really do appreciate it. And this is for Amityville II, The Possession from 1982. Which, I don't know if I saw this all the way through. I might have seen this once a decade or two ago. But it's been so long. I remember Burt Young from the Rocky films was in this. I know this was a prequel. But this is a bit of this I forgot about. And you know what? This is actually a pretty decent movie. I know there's a lot of people that feel this is the best Amityville film. I can see why. I mean, I didn't see the third one. There's one I saw, I think with the Mirror, the TV movie, I think Patty Duke. I remember not minding that one. There's a lot of those others I didn't see, though. I saw the remake with Ryan Reynolds. I thought that was pretty awful. I think I saw the Dollhouse one around when it came out, direct to video, and I remember that being really lame. But I do like the first Amityville Horror. I wouldn't say it's a favorite of mine. I wouldn't say it's in my top 10 or anything. But I like James Brolin. I like Margot Kidder. I like Rod Steiger. I love the score, the theme. La 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 la. Anytime I think of like the walls bleeding or when a haunted house deals with flies, that's the film I always think of. Those images. The stuff in the basement where there's all that goo as Brolin is getting out and trying to get his dog out. Or the dog helping him get out. So I do like that film. Again, I'll put The Exorcist 3 and The Changeling, some other stuff above it, but I do like the first one. But this one, I thought this one was pretty good. Now, it is a prequel, but what's weird about this franchise, some sequels say the family's the DeFeo family, which is apparently the family that died in that house. But here is the names is different. Because again, one of the later sequels it says that like they change the family's names depending on which movie or sequel you watch. But like I say, it's a prequel to the first one, where this family moves in. It's Burt Young, his wife, and they have 4 kids. You have the oldest son, played by Jack Magner, which I don't know what else he's done. I looked it up. It didn't seem like he did a whole lot. But I thought he did a decent job in this. I thought he wasn't bad at all. Then you have the sister, and then you have the little girl and a little boy. Now, Burt Young, he plays a real piece of shit. Because there's a point early on where there's already shenanigans going on. There's banging on the door at night. There's this weird message, dishonor thy father, in the bedroom of one of the kids, and he takes the belt and starts whipping them, and the mom stops him, and then he starts beating the shit out of his own wife. So yeah, Burt Young is a real piece of shit person in the movie. And, I mean, they don't dive into Sally Burt Young as much as a character, whether he ever has regrets on this, whether he's a just straight out alcoholic, whether he something going on in his head where he just does it. And like I say, they don't focus a whole lot on him as a character. He kind of just take Paulie from the first Rocky film, where he's getting pissed at Adrian, and amplify it about 10. But I guess, he's just there to be the abusive asshole. I mean, Burt Young does a good job at it. I like him as an actor. If I stop stuttering, but I'm so afraid of Burt Young, I'm scared. Can't speak. Can't get the fucking words out of my face. But I'm a big Burt Young fan, so it was nice to see him in there. I wish there's a bit more to his character, though. Because I think Burt, that would have been nice to play off, because he is an actor. But I think he kind of got typecast in one specific type of role. Either that, or the cop that kind of just, wandered around, whether it be in Blood Beach or the Choir Boys that I reviewed not too long ago. Because I think of his performance in Rocky Balboa, where he's regretful of how he acted towards Adrian, and you treated her well, and I treated her like shit. He breaks down. I'm like, wow, that's a really good... Like, Burt is a good actor, and a lot of people didn't really give him the opportunity to do stuff like that. It's a shame, and I think it would have been cool to see that. Whether he's just adamant on doing... Like, again, I wish they could have explored his character a bit more, is what I'm saying. But, I mean, he's not really the focus. The focus is on the teenage son, played by Jack Magner. Sorry if I fucked up that name. He plays the character Sonny. So it goes into... There's weird shenanigans going on. There's this room in the basement that one of the movers find, and a lot of flies and stuff in there. And slowly, this evil force comes out and starts possessing the kid as day by day goes by. And I will say the director did a nice job with... It kind of reminded me of the shots that were like Sam Raimi Evil Dead type of shots. This came out in 1982. So I don't know if the director or someone saw The Evil Dead and said, let's make shots like this, because it's either the handheld point of view of the Force, not Star Wars the Force, but this evil force, or when the lead character's wandering around the house with a gun in his hand, you see shots like up above and like going around his head to go towards him. It's like these certain shots that evoke like an Evil Dead type of quality to it that I thought... I like when people do that, because it's not just a static, boring shot. Not saying that automatically saves a film or anything, but it's to put a little bit more effort into the camera work. I don't mind that. There's even this cool shot with that. I don't know how they did this, where you see it panning, and then it goes by a cross. You tell it's pissed by the cross, so it keeps going, and there's a tablecloth, and there's stuff on the tablecloth, and it pulls the cloth off, but the stuff on the table is still there, and the same shot turns and throws the sheet, and it goes over the cross. I'm like, this is all in the point of view of this entity. I'm like, how the hell did they do that shot? To pull it so that no one sees the hands, and when you pull it, the stuff is still on there, and then toss it and hit the damn cross where you need it to do. It's not an easy toss, because it's a decent length. So I thought, okay, that was kind of effective shot. And not only that, there's some nice bladder effects. There's some nice practical effects in there. For example, the Sonny is shaking, and you see his stomach kind of caving in, kind of as if like someone was stepping on him. But it's like his stomach's like really caving in, and then you see like his face has changed, and you definitely see a bit more of those practical effects at the end of the film, which were cool to look at. And this voice, it kind of sounds either like take Clancy Brown and the Freddy Krueger from the first movie, kind of like that type of voice, or did Clancy Brown from Highlander as the Turdian, kind of that deep voice, why didn't you pull the trigger? You wanted to. Because there's this point where Burt Young's being the shot of his mom, and he gets a gun and puts it to Burt Young's head, which I don't blame him. I don't blame him for doing that. But then they get the gun away from him. So, I mean, you definitely have some stuff that they wouldn't do a whole lot nowadays, like the husband being the shit out of the wife and belting the kids and stuff. It definitely feels like there's a bit more of even a harsher predicament of the family from the get-go in here. Granted, again, you don't spend a whole lot of time as to why this is the case, and like it would have been nice to have a little bit more of the build-up of the characters before the shit hit the fan. But, I mean, it is what it is. Other people in the film, the priest, Father Frank, who is led by the mother of the house to bless this house. And then he kind of becomes one of our main characters by the third act of the film. I'm watching this guy and I'm sitting there going, this guy looks familiar. This guy really looks familiar. And it's James Olson. I'm like, where have I seen this guy before? It's Major General Kirby from Commando. I'm like, oh, that's why. Okay. It's Major Kirby from Commando. I get it now. Because I love Commando. It's a favorite film of mine. I like, Major General Kirby. He's the guy who tries to get Arnold on the mission at the beginning, and Arnold says no. And then at the very end of the film says, you want to come back with us? No chance. And then leaves. I like that actor, but I just didn't get to see him in much of any other movies, so I did realize he was in this, and he plays a pretty major role, and I thought he did a really good job. You really see the anxiety and the fear for the family, and then when stuff's going on, like how he's not sleepwalking through this at all. He's very determined to help this kid, to help this teen, help Sonny when realize he's been possessed, and try and give it his all. I thought James Olson did a very capable job showing his feelings on his sleeve there. And then there's a guy who's another priest, Father Tom, played by Andrew Prine, and he was in Grizzly. He's been in a few other films. I do like him as an actor. Sally doesn't have a whole lot to do. He only pops in like 52 minutes in. And he's in sporadically, and he doesn't really have a whole lot to do. I kind of wish he had a bit more to do. I wish he had a bit more. I'll just have him get a bit in on the action in the third act. I think that would have been nice to see. There's definitely some stuff that they try to push the taboo, because, I mean, not only just family abuse, spousal abuse, but also incest. Because the teen, while he's possessed, him and the sister do have sex. Now, granted, you don't see in the details, which is fine. I didn't need to see that. Them kiss, kind of ready to do it, then they cut away. But you get the idea of what happened. So definitely some taboo shit in there. But I thought it was handled in a way where it didn't feel like an exploitation film. Which, who knows, maybe that'll disappoint some people, but one thing that I kind of, going on that route, spoilers, I mean, it's a prequel, but spoilers, the kid does kill his family. Which, I mean, hell, if you saw the Amityville Horror, the first one, you know that's what happened, because that's the backstory. But when he does it, you don't really, like, when he kills Burt Young, it's a bit weird, because he's behind Burt Young, but when he shoots, Burt Young kind of does this and goes backwards. Which, I mean, if you're being shot from behind, when you go like if someone's behind me, if I get a shot, when I go this way, not this way, and like you don't see the blood squibs, you don't see the entrance points. Same with the mom, like the mom's backing up, you hear a gunshot, then she does, uh. And I thought, like, doing this with no impact, no, like, jerk or anything, it feels like the cowboy shows back to the day. Oh, you know, that type of... So that took a little bit away from the impact of that scene. Like, the little kids, I'm fine you not shoot... Although, Assault on Precinct 13 did that, and that was a shocker of a scene. So you could have. I'm not saying you need to blow their fucking heads up, but at least with the parents, I think you could have had a bit more visceral impact squibs and stuff, and I think that could have really sold the scene a bit more in its intensity and ferociousness, at least for me. I think we have like 30-some minutes left where it becomes like just I guess I always assumed that'd be like the end of the film, but no, we have like a good like 30 minutes left of the movie where James Olson, the priest, realizes something's wrong, goes to the crime scene. Now, I'm not a cop, but do they let priests in the crime scenes? I'm the family priest. Okay, come on in. Like, do they let them in the crime scenes? They didn't even ask for ID. Like, who? Like, can I have some ID? Like, well, wait a minute. Let me talk to my superior. Oh, you say the family priest? Sure, go in. Like, again, do they just let... I don't think that's the case when they're pulling the bodies out of the house. But it's a movie. You know, it is what it is. And I thought the guy, when he's possessed, like the makeup they have, and they like the way he's looking with his teeth, and he's got kind of this look here, definitely has this demented feel to him. And then James Olson talking back and forth in the cell. Granted, it's not as intense and hard hitting as you would see George C. Scott and Brad Dourif in Exorcist 3. But still, I thought those two actors worked well. Good performances. With the help of this cop, Moses Gunn, which I recognize he was in Rollerball, the James Caan one. He's been in a few other films. Good actor, and he kind of sees what's going on, and the priest's like, I could maybe help this kid. I want to give him an exorcism. I can't do it here, though. I'm like, why not? Exorcist 3 they did in the prison cell. But that was after this. But they go back to the house. Well, they don't go to a church. Then he starts some fire and almost burns our our priest character, and then finds out that the kid Sonny went back to the house and does an exorcism there. I do like the makeup effects where you see like the face breaking apart, and you see like the face is like all like this, and then you see that there's another face underneath it, and you see like this face fall apart and there's another face, and it looked like a chud. I mean, if you don't know what that is, go on your tab, your Google, and look up Chud 1984. Cannibalistic humanoid underground dwellers. It looked like a chud. Now, granted, chud was after this, but it did look like chud. I swear it did. I'm like, did someone in Chud see this movie and go, that's our monster? It does look like it. It's just not with the glowing eyes, which Chud has. But, he does the exorcism. Spoiler alert. Sorry, spoilers. He does the exorcism. Andrew Prine comes by. The kid is unpossessed. But, you know, he's got to go back to jail because, you know, he was arrested. But you find out that the priest, he's taken the evil into him. Now, that's one thing that's a bit dissatisfying. You never know what happened to the priest. He kind of realizes it worked. It's like, God, please don't forsake me. And then you never see him again, and it just cuts to the sign that the Amityville house is for sale, which ultimately leads to the first movie. But you never find out what happened to that priest. Did he go on a killing spree? Did he go somewhere and live in isolation? You never know what happened to that guy. He's never referenced again, and I thought that was kind of lame. That was a bit dissatisfying. To not know, to not have that answer. So I thought that kind of sucks. The score wasn't bad. I would say I liked the score to the first film more. It's still Lalo Schifrin, who did music to some of the Dirty Harry films and other stuff. He tries to change up the theme. I kind of wish he didn't. Because, okay, it sounds close, but it's... I get it, he doesn't want to do the same thing, repeat himself, but... honestly, in this case, I'd rather him just repeat that theme. Because I like that theme in the first film more than this one. Because it's like having the theme, but it's just quite off. It's just a bit off. And it just wasn't as effective. It's not bad, it just wasn't as effective. Now again, while I wish the family had a bit more build up to begin with, you don't really see a lot of these characters outside of the house. Like I don't even know what Burt Young and the mom did for work. You don't really see a lot of the kid's school life or anything. It's pretty much like them in the house and then the kid. It feels like within 10 minutes the kid is being possessed or realizing shit's going down. But I gotta admit, by doing that, it went at a fast enough pace. I wasn't bored with it. So I'd give it that. And yeah, it has some fun practical bladder effects. It's not too overlong. I thought the acting was pretty good. Yeah, I didn't... I mean, other than, the stuff I mentioned, I didn't have a whole lot of issues with the film, really. So I didn't mind it, Amityville 2. So I guess I chart off this another film that's a decent prequel. I mean, did you need a prequel? No. But I don't think this was a bad film. I liked it. I didn't mind it. So with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. And we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.